Hey guys, today's video is going to be focusing on those of you who are brand new to homeschooling. This is going to be kind of a heart-to-heart video, just kind of offering some encouragement and some guidance and tips to those of you that are brand new and starting your very first year of homeschooling. Okay, so I am Laura Wilkie. I'm a Christian stay-at-home homeschool mom of 6. My kiddos range in age from twin toddlers that are 2 all the way up to 9. This will be our 6th year of homeschooling, and I know that so many of you maybe were already planning to homeschool. Maybe that was already on your radar, but for some of you, this has completely caught you by surprise for this reason or that, probably related to COVID. You guys have decided that for your family, it's going to be best to homeschool. So I remember those times. I remember that first year when everything was new and intimidating. You're trying to establish a group of like a tribe of others that are around you. You're trying to navigate the world of curriculum. Just everything is so confusing. So I'm here to kind of help you with this first year. Okay, so the first thing I think you need to decide is whether or not this is going to be a new normal for your family. Are you going to make this a lifestyle? Is it going to be that you are homeschooling now from now on for all the multiple grades? If that's the case, then you are going to have a lot more freedom and you're going to enjoy it a lot more. However, if you're just choosing to homeschool for this one school year, you really probably need to just stick to whatever your regular school is doing. So stick closely to the subjects that they are teaching and the way that they are teaching them. If it is something that you're wanting to do as your new normal, then you're going to be able to choose from a lot more options. You're going to have a lot more variety, and you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more because a lot of the decisions will actually be able to be made by you, not necessarily what they are telling you to do. Okay, so my next tip is I highly believe that God equips those he calls. Before we were homeschoolers, that really wasn't something that we had ever considered, and I didn't know if I'd be able to do it. I didn't know certain subjects that maybe weren't my strengths. I didn't know how I was going to teach them. I just didn't know. I didn't know how it was all going to work. But I really believe that God equips those he calls. And if you have been called to homeschool, I know that with prayer, he will guide you. So don't stress over any of that. Just let the year and let the way that it flows, let it go. Relax, that's a big one, and just let the school year begin. Okay, now I'm gonna say something that you're probably not going to like, and it probably goes against everything you've already been doing. But I don't think you need to buy a full curriculum this first year. You are transitioning right now. This is a time of change, and I don't think that you need to just jump into such a big investment. A lot of curriculums will cost you between $400 to $1,000. So in my experience, I see lots of homeschoolers jump into a curriculum, especially when they are brand new to homeschooling. They buy the whole thing, and then they realize it's not a good fit. It is the wrong grade or skill level. It has a ton of stuff they aren't even going to use that they had to pay for. So I don't suggest doing this. I do think that it would be very wise to just take the first half of the school year, maybe from now until Christmas, or even the full school year if your children are very young, and take that time to learn and educate yourself on the options and school styles and curriculums that are available to you. One thing, if you are a little bit nervous about not having an exact curriculum, is you can go to Easy Peasy curriculum. I can't remember the exact website, but I'll link it below. But it's Easy Peasy School or Homeschool or something. And they have a full curriculum, and you can just pick whatever subjects or find the grade level, and you can do that. It's just online and it's free. Also, there's not going to be any single curriculum that is perfect. So don't worry if this curriculum doesn't really fit with their reading, or this math over here doesn't really work. Don't worry about that. Find a curriculum that fits most of the things that you need, and then you can adjust it. That does lead me into the next, my next tip, which is get online, find the curriculums on social media. A lot of these curriculums have social media groups, and you can join those groups, and when you do, people will post that are actually using these curriculums. They will post like the activities and the things that they are doing on a daily basis, so that you can see how this curriculum looks in action. When we were first starting, I joined about 3 or 4 different groups, so I could see exactly what their assignments look like. People post photos of things their kids are doing. They ask questions they don't understand about the curriculum. They add files of things that they created to go along with that curriculum. So you can find and access all of that, and you can join any of them. So I recommend definitely doing that. You can also use that time to ask questions. So if there's a curriculum that you like, but maybe you don't like the reading component, you can join their Facebook group and of other people using it, and then ask those people, hey, we don't like this reading component, it doesn't work for our family, what are you guys using instead? And you will be amazed at how many people also have decided that that doesn't work for them, and they will tell you what they're using, and it probably is going to be something that will work. So I just recommend taking that time to really do your research before you jump in to a curriculum that you're maybe not completely ready for or familiar with. Okay, so if you're not getting a whole curriculum, what can you get? So I'm gonna say get the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? Definitely want to keep those skills growing, and you definitely don't want to leave those behind. So I definitely suggest that your child is reading every day, that they are engaged in some math work every day, and that they are writing in some way, whether it's handwriting or story writing or something like that, in some way every day. So I have some other videos where I show you what we do for these subjects. You can look at my curriculum week, which just went live last week, and you can go back and see what we're doing for our particular grade levels. This year I have a 4th grader, 2nd, 1st, and a preschooler. So if you have any of those or around those ages, you can go back and see what we're using. I listed it all there so you can access that. Okay, so you're doing reading, writing, math now, and it's not failing all of the time. It's not going to. So I think that it's wise to take some time and just pursue your child's interests. This is a huge change for them too. And you want it to be successful. So choose subjects that they maybe have a say in. For example, if you really want your child to learn science, ask them, what do they want to learn about? And then maybe find a couple books from the library or some things online that they can do. So maybe they want to learn science, you want them to learn science. Maybe they want to learn in science about animals or plants, or maybe they want to do experiments. So get something that goes according to what they want. That way they want to be engaged, and it will be more successful. Some things that you can get online, there's so many resources. It is unreal. And when you start researching, you will see what I'm talking about. Some of the things that we use on a regular basis, I use Pinterest. I just type in the subject. Next to the subject, I put homeschool or my child's grade level or the word activities. And that will show you a host of things that you can do on your own at home. Another one of my favorite websites is freehomeschooldeals.com. I love it. I have it linked below for you. You can find full packets of information for whatever grade level on a certain subject. So if you want to study George Washington, type that in and it'll bring all these things that you can just print out and study. We do these all the time. My next website is Teachers Pay Teachers. It's not just for like public school teachers or private school teachers. You are a teacher too. You can use it for free. They do have some things that they ask that you pay for. So if that's something you want to do, you can, or you can also search and just find things that are free. But I would highly recommend that, especially for things that like games, like finding homemade games, like memory type things, that kind of stuff, or even just basic like little worksheets and things. Okay, so what are we looking for? So online, you're going to be looking for unit studies. That's a key word in the homeschool world. Unit studies, lap books. You're going to want to look for those. You can get on any of the streaming services like YouTube or Amazon Prime or things like that, Netflix. You can find, like if you're studying animals, watch some animal documentaries. If you're studying history, watch some historical documentaries. You can find so many things and so many ways to learn while you're waiting and figuring out your curriculum. You can also, don't forget that your children are still learning so many life skills. So don't let that frustrate you, that you feel like maybe, they're not completing so many pages in a workbook or whatever. They are still learning so much, and engage them in your normal day. So let them help you cook. Let them learn how to do the chores around the house. Let them learn how to do these things, these normal things, so that they can still grow and function in the real world. Okay, so you need to make a schedule. I highly recommend using this first year to figure out what schedule you think is going to work for your family. This is going to work probably best in a trial and error manner. So you are going to probably need to create a schedule and then edit it as you go. And that's okay, because that's what this year needs to be about, just figuring out what is going to work for your family. We like in our family to use more of a rhythm. So instead of saying, for example, at this time we do this, and at this time we do this, and at this time we stop that and we do this. I have more of a rhythm. I do have a time when we start school, but then everything else just kind of flows. When that's done, we do the next thing, okay? If that's the way you work, that may be the way to go. If you need exact times, then maybe you need to have more of a set schedule. Either way, don't stress about it. Just figure out what works. If you need to go back and you want to see what my schedule looks like, I have a video on that. I think it was the one right before this uploaded, so you can go back and see what our schedule looks like. Okay, so you're going to need to let go of the traditional methods of public school. You do not want this to turn into school at home. So many people were frustrated with the way things went when in the spring, when COVID hit, and all of a sudden public school was at home but online. Okay, homeschool is not anything like that. So many homeschoolers will tell you that it is not like that. In homeschool, you get to choose how things are going to work. You get to choose what they're learning, how they're learning, how you want to do things. Are you going to be doing grades, or are you just going to have them complete the assignments until they are complete and correct, and then move on to the next assignment? Are you going to be doing testing, like a test like in public school, or do you want to do something a little bit more oral, where you give them the information and maybe they narrate it back to you? Whatever works. I just don't think you need to stress over trying to make it public school at home. So many people who feel like failures in homeschooling is because they are trying to adhere to those standards that they are so used to and that have been ingrained into them. When you just relax and let that go, it will be so much better for your entire family, and you will be able to naturally see how your children can learn. Okay, find those local groups in your community that also homeschool. Most large cities have multiple homeschool groups that meet all the time, sometimes weekly, sometimes multiple times a week. So find those. A good way to find them is to get on Facebook, and you can actually search in the little search bar the largest city near you, followed by homeschoolers, or even try your city followed by homeschoolers. and you will find so many groups that will come up. And all those things that everybody tells you homeschoolers miss out on are not true. These groups do all the things that you are used to doing in public school, but they do them as homeschoolers. So things like field trips, play dates like at the park, field day, Christmas parties, Valentine's parties, kindergarten graduations, all of these kinds of things that you have been holding on to public school for. Guess what? Homeschoolers do all that too. So you don't have to worry about that. Join a group, get involved. When you get involved, then you have a whole host of other people that you can ask, hey, what do you use for this curriculum? Or how does your schedule look? And this will be a new tribe, a new environment and community for you to just love. Okay, now you need to give yourself grace. Things are gonna go wrong. There are gonna be hard days. There's gonna be days when you're crying, your kids are crying, nothing's going right, everything's going wrong, nothing's maybe even getting done, and that's okay. Because this goes right on back to the very first one I told you about God equips those he calls. Maybe if that's happening, if you're having some bad days, maybe just say, you know what, we're done with school today. Take a step back and instead work on relationship building. Homeschool is so much more than just a book and a workbook. It is building relationships. It is teaching character to your children. It is teaching them to function in the real world. It's just so many things. Don't forget that you're not alone. You can go and you can come back to me. You can ask me questions. You can go to other people that you find or other homeschoolers you know, ask them, lean on each other, because that's what homeschooling is. It's a community, and it is a wonderful, wonderful experience. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you would leave me a comment, let me know you're watching. I would love that. And that just kind of encourages me and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the videos. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and share any of the videos that you find helpful, because that actually helps me too. So anyways, thanks for watching one more time, and see you later.